call this meeting to order at 7:06. This is recording, just so everybody knows. I have to announce that. Welcome. Good to see all of you. I hope you're having a lovely week.
The weather is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, today, yeah.
Yeah, Mike and I.
Why we live in New England, right?
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
small flames of hope.
Yeah, Mike and I got out for a walk today at lunch, and it was like I felt like a new person. It was so nice.
I just came from my children's choir rehearsal and they were like off the rails.
Oh, I bet.
They were so like spring, it was light out and they were all in the warmth. It was just insane. When I was finished, the accompanist, I looked at each other and we were like, okay.
That's so cute.
They are.
They asked
me really crazy questions, but
I heard you at Mass this weekend. You sound so beautiful.
Oh, thanks. That's so nice.
All right. So getting to the agenda. Okay. So, first off, we have to approve the minutes for February. Everybody, were you able to review kind of the minutes? If you didn't, let me know. But, I make a motion to approve the minutes for February.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. All right. Fabulous.
Done.
Wow. And poor Ray. You're right in the hot seat. Number 3, treasurer update. You have any updates for us?
No update this month. I'll bring back, we've processed, verbal update. We've processed over half of the 2025 grants already, thanks to Kiki especially, but all of you who have helped with a little bit more of the change in the way that we'll do grant processing. I really appreciate the help, and it has been going a lot faster for me to get it to the town. I think we've given them about 14 or 15 grants out of the 25-ish that we approved in this last cycle.
That's fantastic.
Those are estimates. Yeah, some of them spend knowing we may or may not be part of their funding source. So they're ready to go as soon as they get the approval notice because they already did their event and already spent the money, and they're like, all right, reimbursement, here we go.
Right.
So that was the biggest batch of them. The rest are folks that are actually doing their programs from here on forward, timeline wise. So I'd say we're well on track for 2025 grants. There are no open grants from prior periods. I commented on that last time. We had one from 2024 cycle that formally notified us that they won't need the money. I mentioned that last meeting. So that rolls into the pot for next year. I've yet to see if the checks have been processed for this big batch of 2025 grants. I will have that update for next month. I'll get an updated journal entry schedule from the town and update our budget. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I guess leading into Little Town and Bloom, last treasurer comment. Keep receipts, use the town's tax-free billing if you can. And then I can gather all those from all of you guys over the next month, because the next month is probably when we'll be spending all the money. So I can try to process the reimbursements as rapidly as possible for all of you.
Awesome. That makes sense. All right. Thanks for the reminder on the tax-free piece too. I remember we talked about that last time, but then I forgot. All right. So
you have a copy of the tax exempt form? Is there anyone that needs it? I guess
somebody. I'll take a new copy actually, because I'm going to need to buy a lot of new posts based on the number of requests we've got. I don't have enough spares for this amount of demand.
Okay.
So I'll take it. Last year I didn't submit it properly to Home Depot either, so I paid the taxes and I just ate that cost myself.
I asked the provider for the wood thing, and he said he has our information, so we should be good.
Nice.
Excellent.
Kiki, is that something you have like easy to hand, or I can dig it up if not and send it out?
Yeah, I was just looking at it to see if I had it. I don't think I ever had it last year, to be honest with you. So if you can find it, if not, we can always ask Diane for a new one.
I'll take a look. I'm pretty sure I have it. I don't know
Oh,
that
okay.
in the next couple minutes, but I'm pretty sure I've got a copy somewhere. If not, I'll reach out to you and we can coordinate that.
Sounds good.
Cool. And I'll just send it to everyone so everyone has it.
We all
Yeah,
have it,
and
right?
then I'll drop it into the share drive because I don't think it exists in there, which is probably where it should live.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If it's in here, it's not labeled as that. So
Right.
Well, we wouldn't want to make it easy.
that's true.
Sweet. Okay. Just quickly on the membership update, it sounds like we were wondering if Judy had actually applied to be a member or not.
I talked to her last week, and it sounded like she was planning to apply, but has not yet done it. She said something about printer issues.
Okay.
So I think it's coming. It's just hasn't happened quite yet. I actually thought she was going to join today, but something might have come up. So if anything changes, I'll let everybody know. But it sounded like she was really interested in participating.
Good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Has
if
there been
she,
any? Oh, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say if she needs if she needs one like dropped off or something, I'm happy to like leave it at town or something for her.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
If it's a printer issue.
If it becomes more of a problem, I'll let her know. I feel like I did everything online, so I'm not sure where the
Right. I think it's a live form that she can just, if she can log in,
Yeah.
if she can just go in, it should be there. Yeah.
I'll check in with her again and see if she just needs a,
I can send my teenager over for tech support if she needs it.
I've got a 4-year-old. He could probably help.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably could. Yeah.
Also, I'm realizing my teenagers are now in their very late 20s, so just
You
forgot.
were like, so actually they will be adults coming over.
Yes, adults coming over. That's awesome. Anyone else hear of anybody who was interested or had any other bites? I haven't talked to anybody.
No. How many
All right.
are we trying to fill again? Is it just one more or were we looking for more?
Just
I'm
one
sorry.
more.
It's
I
just
think
one more?
10 is our magic number, right?
Okay, I will plan to follow up with Judy either next week or the week after and just like find out whether this is something she's planning on or just considering. It sounded like planning on last time I talked to her, but just to make sure that we know we've got enough people.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on to upcoming events, it looks like March is chock full of grantee events. We have a hip hop chair dance for seniors, a dance series in all of March. Then we have Open Door Theater's production of The Prom School Edition, March 21st through the 30th, and then Westford Chamber Players, How Chamber Music Works on March 11th, which is that tomorrow?
Today.
Today?
That's today. It was today.
It's today. All right. Well, none of us are there, but maybe that's where Judy is. But and I assume on the senior dance series, you have to be a senior to attend.
I qualify.
So that disqualifies some of us. Is anyone planning on going to the Open Door Theater or the hip hop chair dance for seniors?
Well, now that I see that on the calendar, I would like to do the Open Door Theater, and because it's usually a whole bunch of Littleton kids.
Yes, it is. Yep. All right, cool.
How does it usually work? Do we just attend to be supportive, or is it something we typically?
I was thinking of carrying a big sign.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm on the cultural council.
I mean, I would like to go too. I just didn't know if we announce that we're from the cultural council or.
I think you can, but I mean, it's not necessary. I know some people have taken pictures and come back and just kind of reported, hey, it went really well. And it definitely seems like something we want to support in the future. You can introduce yourself afterwards if you want to, but we certainly don't have to. And it's not, and we don't get to every event. We never can. Yeah.
And if we happen to be friends or happen to know them, then it's always nice to say, hey, here on behalf of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just your friend. You didn't even pay your friend to come. I just did this on.
I
Nice.
did just post their info on the Cultural Council Facebook, so you can go on there if you
Nice,
wanna
thank
get
you.
the
Let me ask you,
details.
when are what are the dates of the senior thing?
It
Um,
is.
I
What
think
is it on there?
it's not on the agenda, but just March 2025. So I assume it's like once a week
Okay,
for
I'll
the
look
month
it
of
up.
March. But I do think it would be on the what's it called page? The COA page or
Yes.
no? Yeah.
Or on
I
in
have
the broadcaster. It might be in the
yeah, but
broadcaster.
it's not
Yeah.
right here, so I'll look at it after. And if I can go,
Okay.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Okay, and then the next piece is Little Town in Bloom. Just updates on organizations and commitments and the timeline for ordering and quantities. We're kind of in the zone for Little Town in Bloom. I saw a couple emails come across, but maybe just so we have all that. Oh, Judy LaRoche, raise her hand. Oh, sorry, did I not let Judy in?
No,
Oh my gosh, we've been
Ah.
talking about Judy this whole
I
time.
know,
She can
we're like,
hear us.
oh, Judy, is she coming? Sorry,
She said
sorry, Judy.
she's on, but she can't hear us, so she might not have gotten to the panelist.
I found her and I promoted
found
her to panelist. Can we
There she is.
hear you yet, Judy?
I see her. Well, I see her box.
Hi, Judy. Sorry if you were waiting for us. I wasn't monitoring it. You're on mute if you're trying to respond.
Maybe she walked away and gave up.
Yeah, right.
It's just her computer there.
It's possible.
That'll
After Ray,
show
I
'em.
kind of just gave up. I was like, "Oh, Ray's here. We're good."
Can you unmute her?
There, can you hear me now?
Here she
Hi,
is.
Judy. Yes.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I'm sitting here trying to figure all of this out. I'm very sorry.
No, not at all. Hopefully you weren't waiting too long. I'm sorry if you were. We were like saying we're like, oh, is Judy joining? Like we were talking about you.
I'm
It's
sitting
all
there trying to
positive.
figure out. I'm talking, but nobody's hearing me, and I wasn't sure
no.
what to do.
I know that's
Well,
this
thank
new
you for coming.
webinar thing that they have where, you don't automatically, sometimes when you join, you have to be promoted to panelist, which
Yes,
Yeah.
it said.
I find annoying.
It says raise your hand. So I raised my hand.
So it worked. I found you.
But we're
Thank you.
happy you're here, Judy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Judy.
We kind of just flew through some of the agenda. Were you able to hear a lot of it, or do you want me to go over anything?
No, I did hear. Probably the last 5 minutes while I was trying to figure out what to do.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Well, we're basically on to our public art project, the Little Town in Bloom. I think
I wasn't quite clear what the Open Door Theater. I heard you talking about the Open Door Theater, but
Oh,
I
sure.
wasn't quite sure what it was that we were doing.
Yeah, so there's some of the upcoming events that we have that our grantees have done and we've sponsored with grant money. We try to attend the events, and one of them is that hip hop chair dance for seniors. And then there's the Open Door Theater's production of the Prom School Edition, March 21st through 30th. So it's basically just a theater production. And you can buy tickets and go see it if you want to. Sounds like Kim's on it if you don't want to. And then tonight was a Westford Chamber Players How Chamber Music Works event as well. But we're all here,
Nice.
so
Nice.
yeah.
I'm kind of bummed I forgot about that one. I thought that sounded interesting.
I know,
know.
me too.
I
If
wanted
you
to go to
decide
it.
to go, I'm happy to carpool.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just get out of here and go over
Yeah.
to my favorite.
I know. When I saw the date, I was like, oh, bummer, because it looked
Yeah.
really interesting. I'm glad they're doing that because I think it's a really cool and unique, kind of underrepresented genre.
Disappointing.
For sure. Yeah. It'll be interesting to know how many people attend on like a Tuesday night. I
Yeah.
wonder how they'll get
Yeah,
for attendance.
we'll see that in the report, what they submit. So that'll be interesting to see.
For sure. Okay, so moving on to Little Town in Bloom, we had a few emails back and forth about commitments. I saw one that said that there was somebody who wanted like 130 like flowers or something crazy. So I will let everybody who was kind of emailing back and forth just kind of talk because so everybody's on the same page.
Can we bring the Excel to the screen maybe?
Yes. I think we can.
Also, what a shout out for the fact that we have something that this many people are excited
Yeah.
to be part of.
For sure.
I
That's
updated some
pretty
numbers.
good.
Yeah, I updated some numbers today and it looked like we're at like 255, which is
Wow.
huge.
What did you have last year? That was,
I think last year we just ordered 100
Yeah.
to kind of get
I think
started.
From
and
the
then,
emails I was able to see, it was then you ordered a few more, so it was
Yeah.
125 or something like that.
yeah, because we kind of did it backwards last year where we ordered them and we said, hey, we have these and we'd love for you to paint them. And people definitely said they would have taken more than they did. And we did have to say to some people, like, oh, we only have 10 left.
Hey, I have a question. What happens once this is done? What happens with all the flowers and butterflies?
Well, the last year's one were along my fence for a while. And then Kim's son came and they're in Kim's.
Now they're in my garage.
So my husband and I went and loaded them all up in our car, but we don't have a garage, so we just sort of stored them. So we will have to think about a larger what we would do with them. Will we hold on to them again?
Will we put this out?
The
Will we
intent
put-
was to keep last year to be additive. So we would put out last year's.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a plan. This year we're gonna put whatever was left from last year plus, so it's gonna be a full bloom. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be like nearly 400 items.
Until it
Wow.
gets to the point where we need to like rent warehouse space for this.
I know, and I think that's probably something I was actually just going to add that to the spreadsheet. Like we need to talk about takedown and storage. Are we going to return them? Are we going to keep them again?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I mean, if they want them back.
Yeah,
we
so
can give them back.
Honestly,
give
I
them
think
back.
returning them logistically would be just like incredibly challenging.
I
Sure.
agree.
I
So-
agree.
My preference would be to avoid that particular challenge.
Yeah, then you would need to know which one is whose and make sure you put them in the right place. And what if some
Yes.
get moved? And I wouldn't
Yeah.
even
yeah.
consider that.
So are we gonna put them all together then? We're not putting them where, like, at a business? I know, sorry, I know I missed the last meeting.
No,
So we had
they
talked a little
may
bit
be
about-
scattered a little bit. So the police
Okay.
station,
Okay.
Bay Park, and the fire station.
The common, of course.
When I spoke to the UU church, if they were late or if they got, then they might just put them in the police station next, fire station across the street. So that would be an easy install for their people to just put it there or at FAPE, one or the other. So we can tell them where they need to go, or we can go get their things and install them.
Okay, so it's like Eloquence was interested, but we wouldn't be putting them up in front of Eloquence. They would be put up somewhere else.
Well,
mostly.
they could put them up if they wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
kind of, if people had that interest, like Life Care had that question too. Like, could they put them at their entrance? And I was like, sure,
Okay.
That's actually a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think we wanted some public spaces because I think some of these groups maybe don't have the ability to put them at their physical space, but I think we could absolutely say you can put them up at your space, and we would put one of our little signs there. So to indicate that it was part of the bigger project.
Can you guys see the?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Let me know if you want me to scroll down or anything.
Yeah, I think if we can go to the numbers, because I would need that. I got in contact with the guy who has been wonderful. He said, of course, I had in my mind the numbers from last year, so I'm not sure if that changes delivery, but I'm thinking maybe not. And he said it would be around 1 week, so it's really good, a really good turnout. And he gave me like a.
You just go back over to overview and scroll down to the numbers.
The prices vary depending on how much you order. And just so you know, the butterflies are less expensive than the flowers. So he gave me like, if you order 10 and above, 25 and above, 50 pieces and above, or 100 and above. And then the other one is, I think, 500 or something. So we wouldn't be there. So it depends on what we want. And I would just need to know from those numbers, what would be butterflies and what would be sunflowers, or, how much
Yeah.
of which.
And I thought I saw someone's email say that's one of the groups had trouble with the flowers, right? So like they wanted more butterflies. I personally think like I'd want more flowers than butterflies, of course, but like obviously if one in particular group is like, yes, we want more butterflies and flowers, I don't care, you know.
Yeah, I see up here it says the kids of the club had challenges with big sunflowers, so they requested butterflies or bees or something else with a recognizable shape to help get the kids
Yeah,
started.
the thing with I don't know if you remember, but the shape of the sunflower is just like, it's like a circle with little spikes, right? So
Right.
it looks more like a sun than a flower.
Yeah,
So I guess they needed help in tracing like the petals or something.
Yeah,
got
Rachel
it.
just had trouble like figuring out what to
Visualizing
do
it.
with it. Like it was too
It makes
general.
sense.
You can,
Yeah,
conceptual.
like visualizing how to get started. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think once they got started, they were okay. But she just said like the kids that had the butterflies did so much better that if they can just do.
I think that can be, I mean, you can help that by, we could do one, like I could do one and, you know, like send them a PDF or something of, this is
Oh,
like
good
an
idea.
You know,
Yeah.
like you have to follow this, but this is an idea of what you could come up with. And I could do 2 different patterns or something. I don't know.
Do they offer
That's
any options beside flowers and butterflies?
Yes. Let me
What
see.
do they offer?
Give me just a second. So I'm gonna put the link on our chat so you can see. And we can all see, because I didn't, honestly, I didn't go through it. Oh my goodness, I'm lost here. So chat. Where is the chat here?
Yeah, I'm also
I
having
don't
trouble.
think
On a
that,
public meeting, you don't
I was
have a
going to
chat
say on
feature.
public meetings there
Yeah.
aren't chats. Yeah.
Oh,
If you
great.
go over to the supplies tab, the links are in there.
Oh,
And you
yes, awesome.
And so maybe
you can,
Melissa
you
can
go
click
from
on
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So want me
See
to
there.
click
Thank
on
you.
like right here?
Yes, down. Well, yeah, either one of
That
them.
one, yes.
Okay, and then, oops. Just look at woodcraft and like plywood and wood cutouts.
Exactly, the cutouts.
Okay, and then
I think it's like laser cutouts.
So I had asked if they had bees and he said no, because for some reason I thought about that email saying that butterflies were easier. I said, well, maybe we could have butterflies and bees.
Stars
And
and hearts and
he said they didn't. So
I
it
feel like I'm in the
doesn't.
Lucky Charms commercial. Blue moons and clovers and like what's happening? There's so
I
many.
think
They have
I remember-
have Easter eggs.
Yeah, I remember when I looked, they also had like
Apples.
large
Oh, yeah.
flowers that were more like chunky flowers. You know.
Is that a pilgrim hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the holidays.
All right, what's that? What? Come on. That's
The banana. Get your mind out
Oh,
of the
I thought
gutter.
it was a ghost.
This is
Go-
definitely
That's
needed.
just asking
Scroll
for
down to
trouble.
that
Keep
the
scrolling.
7-inch
Yeah.
7-inch wooden
Getting
flower there.
devolving.
Oh,
Wait,
don't-
this
don't
flower
go on.
here? This
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Click on.
It's an option.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, we
You
had
got a
looked
little
at-
tree.
and I
on the
think
next
there was
page.
like a tulip top at some point.
Is that
Yeah,
the
I
size
like
that you're looking for? Just to make sure.
7-inch or seven. Wait,
looks
let's go.
like there's different kinds of flowers, which is kind of fun.
So no,
yeah.
the
so the
flowers that we
7
have, just so that you know,
Yeah.
the ones that you guys ordered before are 12 inches.
Oh, a
Yeah.
flower pot. That's
So
cute.
last year we looked at those small flowers, but we felt like they were too small to be seen. Those
Right.
flowers. That
Oh.
you
Yeah,
said.
I
So
would
we were
I would
looking for
maintain the
things.
12-inch thing.
Yeah, we were looking for
something
things that
12
were
inches or
12.
Okay. So that
Maybe you
tree.
can filter, right? Like is there a
Oh,
filter?
Yeah, let me look on the left-hand side.
Mm.
Like,
Oh, there's sizes too. Okay.
Yeah, so the 12.
oh,
So
to click off that and
if you
all
just-
of the ones bigger.
Yeah, they've got some flowers on tab 10. I'm sorry if you unfilter everything and go to
Oh,
go to the 10th tab.
all right, let me unfilter and then go to 10. Oops.
yeah, I was going to say you can also just type flower in there and then click on 12 and it brings up. There's only 4.
Sure.
Oh, really? If I go in the search bar?
Yeah,
Okay, should I do that?
we might just filter out all the rest of us.
But it'll take butterflies and such out.
But they only have the one butterfly and they don't have any
Oh.
bees or anything.
Okay.
So then go down to where it says like, length
Yep.
and click on 12 or 16 and to get above that. But I don't know if we want to get bigger than that.
I'll do 12, 16, and 18. Or I won't.
Yeah,
There's
it's really
those
just those
two.
two.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's Shamrock.
the tulips are pretty too.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
tulips. So this, and this. They look small.
You think the 12 inches might include the stem?
Yeah, because it's only 5 inches
Yeah,
wide.
because
Mm.
They've got some rabbits.
Because what we need.
Yeah,
I don't mean to take us off track if folks aren't supportive of this, but I'm like, if folks are asking for something different, why not give them something different?
Yeah, no, I like the idea. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Bunny holding an egg. Yeah.
We can put the rabbit on the stem at the bottom and the flower at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's roses. Huh.
Yep. Bouquet.
Bouquet?
Some of them are small though. Like those look like they're a little smaller. All right. Well, what do we think? Do we want to have Juliana? Do you feel comfortable like ordering a variety of things without our input, or do you guys want like full control and we decide right now which shapes we want?
I think Juliana can
Yeah, I
decide.
think-
what makes sense. I mean,
I mean-
somebody needs to go through and look and see what's of appropriate size and media.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can have 6 different kinds of flowers, that's nice.
So my only question here is budget, right? Because the prices are a little different, and we're asking. You guys are, I mean, from what you guys got in contact with the different people, it sounds like we have. What did you say? 225?
225. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we need, I guess
Let
my
me-
opinion is to maybe have a conversation about that. Like, are we prepared to nail 255 things to, like, is everybody going to be there physically on that day? I'm just talking like logistics here before we commit
Yeah.
to 55.
I mean, now that
What
we
year
learned
are
our
we
lesson
doing
of what works and doesn't work for like nailing them to the posts,
Yeah.
yes, like if we got the right equipment and had it there, that's a half hour's worth of work with the right equipment.
Right.
It's really
Yeah,
not that. Like the problem last year is we didn't bring the right equipment, and so it took forever.
Can
And
I
do we
also-
want to use like a little bit of the money to buy a couple extra mallets so that we just have them? I mean, I would just buy one for myself, honestly, so that we have
I've got
it.
to bring for people, but that's fine too. Either one.
Can I just ask about the Girl Scouts? Because they say yes, but there's no number. So I don't know if this is actually a full representation of the number. Do we know how many they said they wanted? It just has 3 dots on it.
I think Kim, you were talking to Katrina, right? Oh, do we lose Kim?
No,
Oh, Kim, you're on mute. Sorry.
Kim, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay. So the people that I chatted with are so thrilled to do this, but the numbers, I did pop them in there so that we weren't confused. And I was thinking, Juliana, if you need to come over, I can put some of these things out so that you can see what we did, or I can send you pictures of a few of them laying out so that you get the theory of what we did. Or did you?
No, I have the photos.
Okay,
So
great.
I have no issues. I'm just, that my question is more than anything, the budget, because I need to order those. I'll pay for those, but I want to make sure that amount is something that I would get
Great
reimbursed for.
question.
So if I put the most expensive one, which is the sunflower, and decide to do like, let's say 225 pieces of sunflower. I know we're doing different things, but just as an example, that takes us to $1,040. Is that something we have?
Well, and that's a good question too, because I think the number that we got from the club, Tiger's Den, is so much higher than anything we were expecting.
Yeah.
Like, do we have the budget to give them the full 123? Is that the way we want to go?
And keep in mind, we still have to probably buy paint for other things. Tiger's Den doesn't need the paint, but others will.
I'm not sure the club does either, although I forgot to confirm that. Sorry, I can do that tomorrow. That's only 15 too, so So yeah.
Yeah,
what-
this 1,040 is only the wood. From what I understand in the supplies, I also need to get paintbrushes and the paint, right? Because the sticks is something that Ray will get, from what I understand. But so it's three things, right? That I would need to get: the wood, the paints, and the brushes. So I'm thinking it's gonna add up to maybe, I don't know.
How much
One-
have we allocated for this project?
A really
That's
good
my
question.
question.
What
That's what we haven't voted on that. So that's like what we're trying to, I think, get to right now is to vote on.
$1,030 is what we set aside for public art projects in this.
For both
Then,
this,
then we cannot do everything.
Right.
I'm sorry. $1,350. I apologize.
That's better. $1,300.
And that would
And it's
be,
not useful to not spend every penny. So I would personally, I'm
But we're
only
using-
one voice here on the council. I would be fine to spend
But
as much
then
as we can of that money.
is that
Maybe-
also not the money we use for third Thursdays in the summer as well?
Yes.
and,
Right.
and for the labyrinth upkeep, right? Although
Right.
a lot of that we can, if we pick up the acrylic paint that's not used, we can use that again and have people get their own rocks.
I can give you an inventory of that. I have 6 of these.
What is that, paint?
That's the
With the
acrylic paint. Yeah. I think I have 2 here.
So it's 20,
Oh, yeah.
it's 20 versions of paint colors.
If you get, you said the butterflies are less. So maybe a combination of, maybe there are 10-inch flowers that we could get more of and butterflies and mix it up a little more and still come in at a reasonable
So yeah,
budget.
I can
Well,
totally, make a selection of the things that we're gonna buy. If you give me a number, like I cannot go over whatever amount for wood. That's what I need from you guys. Then I can sort it out and make sure that we get
Yeah.
the best things
That makes
possible.
sense.
I have a quick question from last year. Does anyone remember for the organizations we worked with, were there any that didn't end up painting all of the ones that they requested, or did everybody fulfill their full order?
Yeah, everybody painted all of them.
Okay, great.
And I think we had a
Um,
few left over and we just had, I think Ray, some of your kids painted them and we had our,
Yep.
that's what it
Right.
kind of ended up being the members
Yeah.
painting, because we had originally allocated that, but we had so much interest that we originally gave ours away and then we
Right.
took the unfinished one. So all of those are
Great.
So that's another
Thank you.
question for me. In this Excel sheet that we have where we have the numbers, there's nothing for members. Are we adding that? Is somebody interested in that? Should we add
No,
like
there is.
that is that. Yeah,
There-
there
there
are
is.
Oh, there is. I'm
If you
sorry.
if you go to the overview tab, it's there.
yeah, there's
Right now, there's
12
12.
there.
You scroll up. Right there.
Oh, there you
30.
go. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, so
But
Yeah,
I
there are
did have a
12.
question about how did we arrive at that 12? Did people
I think that's a lot for.
I wasn't sure who put that in and how we
Yeah.
got there.
So I actually, and I probably didn't get this right, but I read it as add the number of pieces that you want to this number. So like before I looked at it, it said 10 and my 2 kids will each paint one. So I added 2.
Got it.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know how we had 10. That's
So
what I was curious.
why don't we do it now? Like okay, Sarah, you want 2, then I'll take another 2. Anybody else?
Just one for me, I think.
So
One.
that's 5.
I'll be
take
doing
2.
one through the church, so somebody can have mine.
And I'll do one through the church as well.
Oh, that's true.
They're already accounted for.
I think Ray just said he wanted some, right, Ray?
2, please.
So
Okay,
7. I'm changing it on here. Okay. My kids did it last year, so theirs will be there.
Just FYI, Juliana, we have at least 225 paintbrushes.
Okay, so do we need to get more?
I'd say no.
No.
We probably do need to do an inventory. I have some paintbrushes left over too from people who dropped off
Okay,
here.
so then no paintbrushes, and do we need to get paint? Or with what you have, you think it's enough?
I'll give you
Kim-
an inventory of what I have for paint on. If we can make a category, I'm happy to count paints and see what we have.
Yeah,
Do we
because
wanna
those
put that in this-
boxes, the paint might be empty in there, you know.
Or
The-
dry.
Ray,
Or
just so
dry.
you know, Ray, I have 3 cans of green for Ray's stems.
Oh, you do?
4. Make
Oh,
that
great.
4.
I think it's important to
then I
pop
don't
them,
need any
right?
more.
Because
I don't
after
need
a
any
year,
more
they
for
might
this
be
year.
dried out or something.
Are they
Um,
unopened, Kim?
3 are unopened, I think.
That's probably enough, even if the 4th is yucky,
And
right?
We have 3 gray primers. Nope, they're lavender. 3 lavender, so I can test them tomorrow and see if they work.
I think we had decided we wouldn't paint the backs this time, so we probably
Right.
only need the green.
We have
Yeah.
2 yellows and 2 pinks. Or pink, one
We
pink,
can
one red.
just ask them to paint the backs too,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, I think that's what we had decided because that would be I think a huge.
Maybe we
undertaking.
give them one color on with each thing, we give them a can of paint spray, right? Because then that takes it 2 seconds to do it. Instead of lobbing paint from the kids.
Mm.
But each spray can is around what, like $7?
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's gonna add
I
up.
wouldn't.
to
I
a
wouldn't
lot.
Yeah.
do that.
Plus, then it would have to dry. You know, they would have to let that back dry before they could
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
I say
sun, it
I
takes
say
like
we
2
don't
minutes.
micromanage that aspect and we just let them
Yep.
manage how because they could do it over 2 days. If it's the club, those kids are there every day. You know, they could paint one side one day. You know, we just let them
Mhm.
manage it. Is my
Yeah.
opinion.
And I don't think it's a problem if they don't paint the back either, right?
Right.
I
I
think
agree.
before, when we were first conceptualizing it, we worried about the uniformity, if it was going to be in a
Mhm.
certain place. And now that we kind of have a better idea that it's going to be sort of all over, that, yeah, I agree with you, Sarah. Okay.
So we learned that we can put things on both sides, so it doesn't matter if one side is raw.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
weren't
that's a
thinking
great
that at
idea.
first. Mhm.
All right.
Okay,
I
so we think we have
could
enough.
Remove the paintbrushes right from the spreadsheet.
Yes.
Or
You wanna-
maybe add a column and do like 2025 needs or something like not applicable or yes and how much you want me to order.
Or what we have, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to do so that it's like we can go back and see what
Okay.
needs to be ordered this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to delete the link and everything. I'll just say like NA 2025.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we just need to find out about the paint sets if they're dried or if we need more.
Who has those, Kim?
She has most of them. I think I have 2. I have to go out in my shed. I think I have 2 unopened ones, but I'll have to go look.
Okay, so it would only be paint sets, if any, and then flowers and butterflies and whatever I find. Okay.
I have 6 unopened paint sets and like 6 little, maybe some usable paint.
Okay, 6 unopened ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the club still has paint too, because I just dropped off paint for them for the Labyrinth project. So let me check in tomorrow and see if they actually need any or if they have enough to kind of manage with this.
Oh, is that the same type of paint, Sarah? I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah, we actually used the paint from the project to do the Labyrinth project. So
That's great. So, sorry, for the last, are we adding, sorry, Kiki, are you adding the columns?
I
that,
am. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. I just didn't
But
want to
I thought you were
Yeah.
probably busy with all that you on the screen there.
thank you for doing that. Okay. All right. 6 unopened boxes of cans. And like, all right, stupid question. How many boxes of paints do we need for 255?
well, we don't need 255 though, because if
250. Right.
3 of them,
Could it-
123 don't need paint, at least. Because they said they're more than happy. They just bought acrylic paint. They just bought a ton of paintbrushes. Like they're happy to use their own supplies.
Okay. Okay.
This was Tiger's Den that you're just referring to?
Sorry?
Was this Tiger's Den that you were just referring to or someone else?
Tiger's Den.
Yeah, Tiger's Den.
Okay.
I was going to challenge our thinking on that for a brief moment, only because of the budget aspect. Do any of these organizations need our paint?
I will reach out to the club and see if they really need it, because I think that with what we gave them for the Labyrinth project recently and for the project previously, I think they might have enough.
Yeah.
Some might love to get it, so I wouldn't say no, but I'm not sure. I would guess some of these may not need it.
Well, and I also
Art
think
club.
that, last year we ordered 20 sets of paint and there are 6 we never even gave out. So I think that is
Wow.
also telling us a little bit about what we needed, because I think several of them did have the paint that they needed already, so we didn't have to give it to them. I'm pretty sure COA didn't need paint either, but I can double check with that.
And the churches are usually,
Yeah, we don't, I know CCOL doesn't need it.
yeah,
know
I
about
don't
other
think
churches.
UU does, because they were going to use their supplies in the,
Yeah, we just want to make sure we tell them that they have to, that it's outdoor paint, right? Like
Correct.
outdoor acrylic paint, like not craft paint, because then it would
correct.
not water-based.
Okay, so from that assessment, how many more paint sets do you think we need to purchase?
So do you think it's manageable for all of us to just reach back out to our contacts and see if they need the paint?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like maybe an action item for this meeting is to sort of narrow down the budget, and then from that see how many cutouts we need, because I think the paint is much more variable.
Okay.
But I
So-
think they all need cutouts, So I think we've kind of got to get back to how
The
many.
budgeting of the cutouts.
Right. And then, because I think even to decide on the paint, I think we'd have to make the decision of, are we giving Tigers Den 123 or are we not, right? And all of those aspects.
sure.
And how many do the Girl Scouts need, right? And
How
that-
much,
those-
if we have Ray said we have $1,350 set aside, but you
Yeah.
said there are other commitments that need that money? The third Thursdays, was there something else besides that?
the
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth upkeep also comes out of that.
So how much do we need to make sure we keep back of that 1,350 then?
Yeah, I think that's
Good
what we're
question.
going to decide on this.
Then we know what we've got to give to this.
So
Yeah.
So, Sarah, do you have a
yeah,
good
it is
idea
a good
for the
question.
Labyrinth? Like how much you would need?
I think if we make a commitment to retrieve unused paint, right? Like significantly unused paint, I don't care about like the little 1/4 inch, but if someone's got a half bottle or something, we can give that to Camp T for Labyrinth, and to the club already has paint for the Labyrinth. They're planning to do it once a session. So I don't think we need, at this point, we're only talking to the club and Camp T. I think Tigers Den might be another option for working on Labyrinth rocks, but again, they have their own paint, so it wouldn't be an expense. So I don't think it's a huge expense at this point. Maybe if we can set like
$100?
yeah, right? Like just so we have something, and if it's not enough, we can
Well-
revisit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. Please,
Okay.
go
No,
ahead.
go right, go ahead.
If I look through the treasure data, in 2024, we spent $104 on Third Thursday-ish other events throughout the year that came out of that pot of money. In the 2023 fiscal year, it was $127. In fiscal year 2022, it was $174, slightly higher. I could go back further, but that's so just to give folks an approximation. It's never gone above $200, and we could intentionally keep it lower if we wanted to allocate more funds to Little Town of Bloom this year. So you could do $100, you could do 125, 150, and then we'd know we're covered. All the rest could go to Little Town of Bloom.
And so that was specifically for Third Thursday, right? Those numbers.
It was
right?
for everything else in the fiscal year, not related to Little Town and Bloom for the last
Okay.
couple of years.
Okay.
So like
But the
100, 125, 175, that's the last 3-year average, is those
Oh.
3 numbers.
So then I could use like $1,150? Is that what I could use?
It sounds like at least that.
Well, we need to buy we need to buy the posts.
Right. That's so Juliana's talking just the wood. So we still have to set aside some for paint and the posts.
Right. So as far as the posts go,
is that sticks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm looking online really quickly, because I just go to the big hardware stores for this.
Can I ask what you use for the posts, Ray?
Sure.
What do we use?
Yeah, I share the screen for a moment.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing. Hold on. Allow. You're allowed. Has so much power.
Nothing crazy. Like last year I got a variety of lengths. I could simplify it down to just get a single length. Like this is Lowe's. This is a 4 foot height. We had 3 foot, 4 foot, and 5 foot posts last year, so we got multiple lengths. 4 foot for a pack of 25 is 41. Last year we started to do 2 per post. If we committed now to doing 2 per post, which I thought that actually looked quite nice, so I'd be fine to do that. So then you'd have 50. So what would that be? You need 5 of these packs, which is $200. So it sounds like a lot. I need to go count how many I still got in my storage though, because I've got a group that I painted last year and we didn't use it. Home Depot has 3 foot stakes for a 50 pack for only $54. A little shorter, but it would still do the trick, especially if we put it up at certain locations.
Or if we use the 3 foot
natural visibility.
And we would still have butterflies from last year.
Right.
You know,
Sorry,
like the 5 foot that we still had from last year, we would still have to be able to create, height.
Yeah. This is weird. I might, since we're trying to do this for real, I'm going to step away from the meeting for 3 minutes. I know exactly where they are. I'll do a quick count, and that way we can be real about this. Is that okay?
Awesome. Yes, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
That way we can get very specific right now. So I'll be right back.
I do think if there's any way we can manage to get the full 123 to Tiger's Den, like it would just have such a huge impact to have it be on that scale. Right?
I think we can totally do that. I'll play around with but just let me know what you guys think. Should we focus mainly on flowers and then just a few butterflies, or do you also want to do rabbits or anything else that I can find? What do you guys want to do? What is the vision?
My personal opinion is to keep it simple, because as we get too many things, then it turns into, I feel like, chaos. That's my opinion.
And when I hear Little Town in Bloom, I only think of flowers. Me personally,
right. I know last year we had originally been hoping for the sunflower ones we got, and then like a tulip that was just the top of the tulip, but that they didn't have that. So that's kind of how we got. And I do think we could solve the issue by, as you suggested, providing an example. We could even take one of the painted ones that Kim has and show them, I think
so then you're thinking that's the only thing, that the sunflower is considerably more expensive, but we could do like mainly 2 types of flowers. I don't remember how much the other one cost, but the 2 types of flowers and then a few butterflies that we could give to an organization with like the churches that have, I suppose, older people
or adult painters.
Yeah, just give or give 15 of the butterflies straight to the club, and they can all just do the butterflies, and that'll be nice and easy, and we won't have to worry about providing any additional instruction. Maybe we want to give some of them to Tiger's Den too.
Yeah.
I bet children like painting butterflies.
Sure.
You right? My daughter just brought me a drawing of a butterfly today. Like, yeah.
Okay. And if we're having, a budget constraint, we can do, play around with it. What about those tulips that we saw? Were they too small? Did you guys think? Like, that's too bad.
They were nice.
Very weird to have like the stem of that thing and then the stick. it would look like not as beautiful. Like you would need to put those on the ground directly.
Yeah, like I would be more in favor of the chunky flower cutout, as it's called, even though it was smaller because it was a flower.
See that one? I kind of forget what that looks like.
Yeah, if you go back, if you just type in like chunky flower cutout.
Yeah.
Even though they were smaller, but we did do a lot where we had 2 on each, right? So you sort of could have a lot.
That's what I can do in order to get the amount that we need. I can play with the sizes. Maybe not all of them will be 12 inches. Maybe we have to do a few smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did we not have this before? Did we not have this one from last year?
We can't see your screen.
Oh,
so,
haha.
I'm like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure we had this one, but I don't know.
I thought we got that 7-inch flower cutout, but I can't. I don't.
You see it now?
Yeah, there was that one, and then there's one that says 7-inch.
Can you look at the prices just so that I can see really quickly?
Yeah.
Low.
When it's only
This is $249.
Those are the little ones, but if you type in
249 is if you pay for one, but we're gonna be paying for like it would be like 1.6. So
yeah, 149.
That is awesome because the sunflower is 4.6.
But I think those flowers she's showing are very small.
Oh, okay. So
the 7-inch one is, I think, the one we're actually looking for. That chunky flower, if you look at the picture of it painted, it looks like it's very small.
Okay, it doesn't have the size there? Okay.
I know, it's weird. It doesn't have the size on it. But...
Okay. Can you try
see that other one? Yeah, that's the one.
So that we can see, like, that we're as we wait for Ray, maybe we can all, like define what flowers we want.
Man, he's fast.
So what is
he wasn't kidding about 3 minutes.
I know right where I put him, so I just hadn't counted.
Would be okay for you, in your opinion, or is that too little?
So the ones that say, I just finally went into the chunky flower cutout, the $1.49. Those are only 4 inches.
Ah, no, that's tiny.
Yeah, it's too small. But I feel like
the wood flower cutout and the wood tulip cutout are actually 12 inches tall. They're just skinnier and they're
skinny.
Yeah,
they're cheaper. They're like $170, $209.
I feel like you could make this one.
People would love to paint those.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this one is this one, right?
There's
I don't
inches.
Right now.
I like this
How
one.
do we install those in the way that we're
they're
installing these? Can we put them on the post?
I don't know about anybody else, but I can't hear anybody. Like it's all cutting out.
Can you hear me now? Right now?
Yeah,
Kiki?
I think just because a lot of us are talking at the same time.
Okay, so on this, I have up this wood flower cutout for 12 inches. It looks like the pricing, if you get like 50 or more of those, it's $2.42. And obviously it goes up if it's, if we get one, it's really expensive. So I think we could add this to the mix as long as everybody's in agreement.
What do people who were installing last year feel about trying to attach that to the post? Do you think it has enough?
With the smarter way of attaching, I would feel perfectly fine.
Yeah.
which is what we said we would want to do.
We could do it down. Yeah, I was just worried that there would be 2 spots to nail it in.
I would actually feel quite comfortable with it if we had the right setup to do it.
So then I could get a majority of that kind of flower, like the most part I could get that kind of flower, and just a few of the sunflowers. A few of the sunflowers that are like double or more the price, and a few butterflies for the kids.
And what about this one? This 7-inch? Oh, this is too small. 7 inches, we think. Yeah.
I would also recommend looking up the wood tulip cutout.
Okay.
I think be careful about going too far down the road of the smaller things, though, because I drove by that every day, and the things that I could see were the big sunflowers. So
fair.
I think that it's more important to be able to get one to everybody. So whatever that ends up looking like is, I think, the priority. But if we can get more bigger ones, I think it has a little bit bigger impact.
Do we want to throw in a few of these just to see how they look? This tulip one, maybe even just get 10, just to scatter them in.
How much are they for 10 or 25?
Oh, these are great.
Yeah.
That's why I recommend it.
That's a good price.
Juliana, are
Ever the treasure.
just playing around with it and seeing how the numbers work and
Yeah, I'll play around with it and send you guys my proposal. And
Love it.
but I just again, let's go back to the post with Ray so that we know so that
Numbers.
I know what I have to play with.
Right. So I have 50 left actually, which is a lot more than I thought. And it's about half and half, 3 foot and 4 foot. So if I got 50 more 3 foot and then 25 more 4 foot, that would work.
It's only
Because then we'd have
105 though, and we're talking about 255, right?
So question,
I'm
the ones
recommending
from last year,
that we attach 2 to each post
Sorry.
for all of them.
the
Okay.
ones from last year have the post still?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, the ones from
if
last
we
year,
had-
we literally pulled them out of the ground and they
Okay.
are completely exist as they are. Some of them might
Okay.
not be, some of them might not be great. They might have some fading or dirt or whatever, but most of them I think are good.
Some could use a little bit of extra nailing.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely had that's why I was bringing that up because some of them we had to keep, like I went back there a couple times after they fell off and was like putting them back in. But I think we learned our lesson, as we said.
Yeah, but like I would overkill the attachment work this time. Like I got sawhorse. I'm a do-it-yourself guy. I got all sorts of stuff. I just didn't bring it last year because I didn't know what we'd be dealing with. This year I would bring it all. Like I could have it be like production line. Like we would be fine as far as attaching these.
You
I
could
really
set
don't.
you up
I'm
and
not
then
worried
run
about
and
it.
install, right?
Yeah, like we could have a home base and I attach them, and
Sure.
then you guys are running them around, pounding them, and they're
Yep.
like that would be totally fine. I
Mhm.
wouldn't mind that.
Can I ask?
But where I was going with the post math is if we have 250 new and we just say that we're going to do 2 per post no matter what, then I only need 125 posts. I already have 50. So that means I only need to buy 75 more. And if I split that as 25 4-foot posts and 50 3-foot posts, that would be about $100.
Okay. So we can
That's
keep
the way
that.
I'm doing the math.
All right.
That
so we
doesn't
can keep-
include any new green spray paint, but Kim just said she had some.
Yep.
So I'm going to assume I don't need any more of that.
Hey, Kiki, on the overview page, do you think we could add between the org contacted and the supplies dropped? Could we add a column that just says needs paint? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Because then once I check in with them, I can just fill that in and then you'll know how many people need paint and
Okay, so we're all checking in. Well, I mean, with everybody to see if they need paint or not. So that's an action item. Juliana, what do you need from us? Like hard numbers, or do
So
you feel like
so once you guys put yes or no, I would need to know what that translates to, right? Like how much money needs to be saved for
Right.
paint so that I know how much. The only thing I need is tell me how much money I can spend in wood. That's
Yes.
all I need. And
Let's
then
So
decide
I
that
think
now.
I think we're getting close to that at this point. So we had $1,350 set aside.
Yep.
If we said 150, we save for other things for the remainder of the fiscal year, whether it's third Thursdays or anything else. So that leaves us with $1,200.
Yep.
I said $100 for posts. And by the way, we still have all the nails and everything we need, so we don't need to buy any of the ancillary stuff for that. So then you're left with $1,100 for both paints and cutouts.
okay?
Okay, so do you think we can make a prediction of the paint based on what you guys know and set aside that money so that I can go ahead and order the wood, or should we wait for you
I mean,
guys?
based on last year, if we got 20 sets of paints, which I don't think we're doing, sounds like we'll do less than that this year because people might be having their own, and we do have 6 unopened boxes. It looks like they spent what, 143? Is that what I'm looking at?
Can you click on the link to see if that price is updated?
Yeah, good call.
yeah, and since the club or since Tiger's Den has their own, the max we'd have would be like 125, right? I've got my own. I do not need paint for my family.
I'm gonna just update. So you said the Unitarian Church, they don't need paint. CCOL does not need paint. I'm just gonna click these now, so we at least know what we're talking about.
So it's saying
If-
$29.99 for one set. Is that right?
Mhm.
And I don't know what this King art is, but maybe Amazon is less expensive, or we don't want to do Amazon. I'm fine with not doing Amazon too.
It's set up there on supplies. It said plus discount, so I'm not sure what that means from last year. It said $19.99 plus discount. So I'm wondering if because we got 20, I don't know if she called them. I looked at the notes up there, but I didn't see any
Let me go
details.
back. Oops. I'm going to like put in 20 and see if it makes it less per. So
I'm
it's,
seeing the same thing on Amazon anyway.
do they have the same thing on Amazon cheaper? Do you
No,
wanna
it's the same price, $29.99.
look? Okay.
Wait,
So it's
but
more
the sh-
expensive
but
than
the
last.
shipping on Amazon is free. Is the shipping here free?
Pay over for overs, pay overtime for over, I don't know.
Hey, Ray, would you have the receipts from that for last year?
No, I just have the payments of what the total of reimbursement was. Actually, I can look it up. I might have that in my files. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, it's free shipping. You are eligible for free shipping for here. Whoever was asking
20
that.
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
20 though.
Right.
$100 would be free shipping.
Let me go down if we're like down to like 10.
$600, like that's crazy.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
I'd have to look back at my emails, but I feel like Stephanie called them and told them that we were a cultural organization and they gave us some kind of a discount.
So
But
this
I
King art is a local business here?
don't think so.
No.
Because they sell that at like Michael's and stuff. I think they're national.
Yeah.
But I think she must have reached out to them somehow.
Okay, I'll ask
I'm
her.
trying to see if I find anything. Let me see.
But even still,
Or,
like
or
10,
was it Julie that got us a good deal because she
It
works
might
with
have been.
these?
Oh my
right,
gosh,
yeah.
that's what it was. Julie
That
got
is
us
what
the
it is.
deal through her school out, something like that, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
You're
I
right
think
now
that's
that you're
what it
saying
was.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
So
is
now
what
it's more important that we find out who is cool with not getting paint because that's gonna
It's a lot of money.
change our budget. Yeah. Okay. But like we probably can guesstimate like we're not going to have 20 because we already have 6, right? So we know that takes us down to 14. And if we have 3 or 4 organizations that already know don't need paint, we are already down to like 11 or 12 or maybe even 10. So we know, like, just looking at this, if we use the same set, it's going to be about $300 for paint. But maybe less if we have more people.
Yeah, that just sounds like so much.
I know.
yes.
Any ideas on that? I'm not like an art person.
Can you go back to the spreadsheet so we can see the organizations? I know Kiki was filling out like the ones she already knows said no, just so that we can try to make a prediction on what they're gonna say.
Do you have to use the whole box of paint? Like can you split it up?
we did split it up last year. So some, so there's 20. So some of the groups, who only got 10, we just gave them a couple of paint items. So we did not, So I don't think we need one box of paint per organization or anything like that. So
the Council on Aging will need paint. The Girl Scouts is probably only going to be like not that many of them. Although I guess I don't know.
The probably doesn't need, no? They would have that.
Yeah, you would think the club wouldn't need it.
Well, I'm guessing they don't because I just brought them paint for let me touch base tomorrow morning and see what we get from them.
Yeah, I don't think they keep a lot of art supplies on hand.
Crafty type stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
The art
so that
the ones that don't have anything means they didn't answer?
So there's a checkbox that says if they were contacted. Yeah. So the art clubs, so the Shaker Lane and Russell Street, she said she wanted to do it, but I'm waiting for her to get back. I was like, I need to know ASAP how many you need.
On numbers, yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't hear back from the middle school art club. And then the high school art club said they were interested, but again, no actual follow-up. So I just was hoping we would hear from them, but I haven't yet.
Well, and
So-
there's a point where if they just haven't gotten back to us, they just didn't get back to us, right?
Right, exactly. And yeah, some of them
that's
that
my-
don't have.
What my suggestion would be, maybe if you can send an email saying, like, please let me know by really tomorrow or whenever the date you think is best. And then if I don't hear from you by then, we won't be able to include you, unfortunately, but we will try again next year. Something like that.
Yes,
So that
something.
I don't know what date, because we need to learn from the paint too, and then we need to order. So what
So
date would
on-
be okay for you guys to close this, do you think?
What is our drop dead on this?
I think we have up here was order supplies by tomorrow.
I'm an Amazon guy and Prime member, right? Like you can get a 20 pack of a 12 set of colors acrylic. It's the small ones. You can get a 20 pack for $24.
Yeah, and then I just went on to Michael's, and they have, it says 36 color acrylic. It's like their brand. It's a 36 pack for $19.99, and there's a coupon code for 30% off right now.
So that's the same price that we were using before. It's
Right.
$19.99, right? So
I'm
Right.
assuming this is the same paint. I mean, I'm not also a
Art.
not a visual art person. I'm a musical art person. So, but it does say all-purpose water. Blah, 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 blah.
60 milliliter outdoor acrylic paint. So yeah, so if we're able to buy those ones from Michael's, or the Amazon ones are even cheaper. They're what you said, 24, right?
But they're
Yeah.
They're the little ones.
They're little, but these aren't
I mean, that
huge
could
cutouts.
Do be better. Yeah, that could be better because that would do the trick, and we wouldn't have to like have leftover paint, as much left over.
Right, because we had a conversation last year about how it seemed like we were sort of wasting paint because we were giving them these things, and we
Right.
had talked about should we squirt them into little containers, and then we were like, who's gonna, it's just like a lot of manpower
Yeah.
to do that.
I could. May I show you what I'm seeing here? Is that
Yeah, let
all
me
right?
stop sharing. Hold on.
I know we're getting into the minutiae here, but it's important, I guess, right?
Yeah. For sure.
How on earth do I do this? Oh, whoops. Share. Didn't work. I don't know what happened.
Oh, those are the strips. I see what you're saying.
Why isn't okay? It's not letting me share. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Do I need to give permission? I mean, I
We can
see
see
it. We can
Yeah,
see
we
it.
can
Yeah.
see
it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
the
Okay.
20-pack mini acrylic paint sets, right? Yeah.
So they're small. Yes, they are. You got 12 different colors in a 20 pack with some brushes. $23. 24. So I don't want to stymie, like if somebody is really in love with the color red and wants to do the whole thing red, yes, these wouldn't work great for those people. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
I think it's a
I
good
don't-
offering from us at a good
Yeah, I
price
agree.
tag.
So
Yeah,
do you think that these are weatherproof?
I know that's what I was
They're
gonna say. Is this
waterproof,
outdoor?
yeah.
Don't know. Acrylic? I don't know.
Just
You
go
guys
down
tell
to the
me.
bottom there. Let's see. Paint.
Recreational.
Art festival.
How about item details, Ray? Under product details. Sorry, go up a little bit, and then where it says product detail. Yeah, see if it says anything there. Sometimes it says stuff.
Or
No.
maybe materials and care. That might say if it's like,
Yeah, that too.
I don't know, nothing.
It's
Paint
not a
type
jump
acrylic.
to,
Huh?
Certainly it's showing pictures of people mostly doing it indoor.
Mm.
But
I don't know. I
just
just
sets.
That's it.
I just worry if they're actually too small. Like
Yeah.
would that be enough to cover a 12-inch
Yeah.
sunflower?
It would
Yeah.
I feel like it might get a little bit more complicated. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it because of this, but just like to keep in mind, it might get a little bit more complicated because I think we would have to like allot one of these per person. right?
Right.
An approximate of this many colors, and then they can use a different color if we run out of one. It's a like everyone has to have their own sets.
Yeah.
I know, Ray, since you're sharing it, can you look at the one from Michaels where it's
Sure.
36 for $19.99, which is the same price we were paying before? It's like 36 color acrylic paint. It's their brand. It's called CraftSmart. I can't share my screen because I'm on my other. I don't know why my work computer like doesn't love Zoom anymore and doesn't like my headphones either.
Access denied.
I might be able to pull it off if you
You do
can.
not have
Yeah.
permission.
My company's firewall is ridiculously thick lately. Try it
So
one more time. It's not, somebody else might do this.
so just type in like, oh yeah, acrylic paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Let me see if I can do it.
I know. I wish there was a chat window in here because I could drop the link, but
Yeah.
oh, what's whiteboard?
You guys can't see my screen yet, right?
No, not yet. Do I need to
Alright.
stop sharing?
Acrylic.
Or maybe I did stop sharing.
I can share. Hold on a sec. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's $19.99 for the 36 pieces.
Right, the CraftSmart. That's what I was thinking. And then it does say,
CraftSmart. Do you want me to type that into Kiki?
it should just come up. It's
Okay.
right. It was like the first one. I see it right there once all those pop up.
Oh, and you also have all those discounts that you can like. They always have coupons.
Yeah,
Coupon?
so it says on here there's a 30% coupon.
Is this
36
it?
color. No, it's the bigger one. Like, keep going.
Oops.
But it says
Right there.
free
See it?
shipping-
36 color.
It's free shipping over $49.
Okay.
Right. But if you
Yeah, we
buy,
can also
see how
pick
it
it up.
says, if you scroll down, it says buy in bulk. See that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, get 8 for $13.39.
Mm-hmm.
Oh great. Out of stock.
Out of stock. Ugh.
Bummer. Of course. All right. I'm gonna keep looking in here.
Is Juliana buying the paint and the wood or just the
Mhm.
wood?
I mean,
Everything.
I can do both, or if anybody else wants to do the paint, that's fine too.
I was gonna say, if we give you the amount that you can spend, it might, if you buy both, it might be easier for you to come up with a combination that makes sense as long as we tell you how much paint we need.
Yeah, there's not much wiggles room with paint, I don't think.
Yeah, it
You
does
know,
definitely seem. I mean,
Doesn't
I
matter
don't know if.
who
I mean,
buys
we
it.
could potentially reach out to Julie and see if we could apply for the discount as the cultural council. I know she had it as through what she does for work. So we could maybe look into that in the upcoming days. But I do agree that we probably need to like maybe circle back to the actual amount and and vote on that and button that up a little.
What satin classic acrylic paint set?
I think you better put exterior, where you searched for acrylic paint, perhaps you should add the word exterior.
Outdoor maybe instead of exterior?
Outdoor, yeah, outdoor.
Outdoor.
Waterproof paint. Second one.
Yeah,
Outdoor
water-
acrylic waterproof
yeah.
paint.
Yes.
Thank you.
The prices are not great.
Yeah, they aren't.
Yeah.
Here's the
Wow.
same one, still $30. Although, let me look at the buy in bulk here. There's 20 colors. Let's see if there's a buy in bulk option here. Of course not.
Yeah, it's usually just their CraftSmart brand because you're buying in bulk
Got it.
from Michaels, whereas
Oh,
King
true.
Art, you're, you know.
Makes sense.
Mm.
So I don't mind, just because in the interest of time,
Yeah.
I don't mind calling them and seeing if they would extend the discount that they extended to Julie to us again. and then that would get us to $19.99.
Awesome.
But-
Yeah, we might also do, might also be able to get, like a coupon or something with Michael's too. Sometimes they have.
Right. But
That's
I
a good
also
idea.
feel like I guess my feeling is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, we're not really at a place where we even know how much paint we need.
Right.
So I think we might need to circle back and see like what is our kind of double, what do we think we're going to get for the wood, and then that would inform the paint, I think.
Or could I throw out a different option? What if we worked backwards? What if Juliana came back with a quote for 250 wood pieces? That's somewhere between $900 and $1,100, and we see how much money's left over,
Yeah,
and we say this is how much paint we buy, and we offer that, to anybody that needs it, and if we run out, we run out.
I think that's the best solution.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
so-
that idea.
So that 250, just so we're still doesn't include the Girl Scouts so I just want to make sure, because this is what happened last year is we made commitments for more pieces than we actually had. And that's how come we had to go back and keep ordering more,
Right.
So can you go back to the pieces
I
section?
just checked in with the Girl Scouts and no takers so far. So she's posting again, just to let everybody know.
not include them, because I mean, if we really want to do this, let's just say sorry, we're out of
Yeah.
time, and then we
Right.
don't include the Girl Scouts.
And ask again next year, like you said,
Yep.
with the
Yeah, because
art club.
honestly,
That's exactly
I would
what I
love for them
said.
to be included, but it feels like we're never going to be able to close this.
Agreed.
Yep.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So then, who else was missing? Like now that we can
It was
tell that
the
Girl Scouts don't post.
I think it was the art club who was missing right here, right? So like they said yes, but didn't give us a number. And I think high school said yes, but didn't give us a number. So they're out
Considering
too.
that we have 250 pieces,
Yeah.
can we, my opinion would be to say, hey guys, thank you so much. Our time is up. We will contact you back again next year and try again. And just do the 250 pieces, which is a huge change
It'd be a
from
lot for
an
us.
increase from
Right.
last
I
year.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Sound-
agree.
I like
Sounds
that
good.
idea.
Can
Yeah.
I just ask, what is this MS Wellness Day?
So
With
that's
30
the
pieces?
middle school wellness day.
Okay.
And so this is the first time that they're doing this, and this is the number that they came up with.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great. And
so
maybe
then-
that could be why the middle school art club hasn't gotten back, because they might be
Right.
connecting with that. Okay.
True.
So then we are, what I'm doing is I'm buying 250 pieces, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do tomorrow, I will play with the different pieces, and I will come back to you by email saying, I'll make like a table saying this amount of this type of flower, this amount of this type of flower, this amount of butterflies or whatever, and this is the budget. And I'll try to keep it between 900 and 1,100. And then you guys tell me, okay, and I'll order them immediately.
I love it.
Or
Perfect.
I might even make it slightly more. I would just target 1,000,
I would just what?
because I would just target 1,000. If you
1,000.
target 1,000, we're left with $100 for paint, $100 for posts, and then other money that we save for stuff that is not Little Town and Bloom.
Okay, $1,000 for 250 pieces. You'll have a table from me tomorrow, and I'll just need anybody to say yes. And with that first yes, I will order.
Well,
And don't limit yourself to the shapes that we've talked about specifically. Like if you find something else that you think is going to work, it's big enough and it's,
Yeah, I don't think there's many options, to be honest. I don't
yeah,
think there's many
I
options.
agree.
So I think it'll be probably the two different types of flowers, and mostly the ones that are not as, or the three different types of flowers, like the tulips, the other like round flower like this, the cutout, and maybe there's 4 types of flowers now that I think about it. And then a little bit of butterflies, and that's it. But I'll play with the prices.
Great.
Thank you.
and
Awesome.
I will follow up
Thank you.
with the club in the morning and see if they need paint, because my guess is they're going to say no, but don't hold on that. I'll just put that extra info out there.
Yeah, so I
And-
think the next steps
then-
is I'll send you the table tomorrow with the proposal for the cutouts, and then everybody who needs to go back and ask about paint can do that, and then we'll figure out. And how will we figure out that by email, like the paint, or what is the plan? Or do we need to get together again and decide how much paint we need?
No, I would say $100 budget for paint.
For paint, yeah.
And
So
we,
now
we
I
find
buy-
that the best high quantity option we can find of good outdoor acrylic paint, but only buy $100 worth and then only offer it. I mean, right now we don't have hardly any takers for paint.
Okay, perfect. So I buy $1,000 of wood and $100 for paint.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll buy $100 for posts, and that's that.
And then we're reaching back out to the people who responded yes, but didn't give us a number and saying, actually, sorry, our deadline has passed. We will reach back out to you next year if you're interested. Okay. And I think, Kim, you have the Girl Scouts. Who had the art club? I forgot. Is it also Kim?
It's me. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm just
it's you,
typing
Kiki.
the
Okay,
minutes.
thank you.
Sorry. I'm multitasking.
Tons of love and appreciation, but this little group of ours is probably maxed out at 250.
Right,
That's a lot.
It is a
That's
lot.
double
It's
last year, and
actually-
last year was a full day project. Like, took a while.
When Tiger's Den got back to me with 123, I was like, oh.
Love it, but wow, we just got to grow this step at a time over these
Yeah.
couple of years.
You don't want to grow
Yeah.
in every
I like using the word grow, Ray,
Yeah.
for our flowers.
Yeah.
As long as we keep them in Littleton, no outside town.
Now, Ray, do we have to do an official vote on the minutes about that we're setting aside the 1,000 for the project?
I think that would be good.
I feel like
I think
we
that would
do.
be good procedure
Yeah.
to do that right now, to say that that's the budget we're setting aside. But then we also need to officially approve the receipts once those are collected
Right, correct.
for reimbursement.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So our
Guys,
proposal
one
to
question.
spend. Oh, sure.
Sorry.
Wait, Juliana's got a question.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. So we said $1,000 for wood, $100 for paint, $100 for posts. So that's
Yes.
$1,200. And that
Yes.
only leaves $100 for the other two things that you said, third Thursday. That's fine?
$150 because we have 1350
13,
available.
yeah.
So we've,
Okay.
yeah,
And over the last 3 years, the max we spent on those was $175.
yeah.
So we could just make
Okay,
sure that
we're
we hold
good. Okay,
ourselves to
sorry.
a
And I'm
reasonable
sorry
amount.
for interrupting. I was
Oh,
just
no.
making sure that we
but
had money.
plus we have to remember that
Good to
third
check.
Thursday actually encompasses 2 fiscal years because July and August, those third Thursdays will jump into the next fiscal year. So we don't need
Yes,
the full amount.
Great.
yes.
Okay.
What happens to the money that wasn't spent by the one grantee last year? Does that go into this pot too potentially, or?
It would go into the general pool, which could be either used for our projects or grants,
But it's
but it goes
for,
back into the general pool. It's not demanded to go to either one. It goes back into the overall pool.
but is it the next fiscal year though, Ray?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's it's the next fiscal year.
But it does give us a little bit of a buffer still.
For next
You
year,
needed
right?
it.
But not for this
Yeah.
fiscal year. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
You could submit for reimbursement next fiscal year and use some of that money to help pay for that if we wanted. Yes.
Just always nice to know where there's a buffer.
I agree.
Yep.
So let's see. We have quorum, right? Because there's
Mhm.
so Judy, we love you, but you can't technically
I
vote.
can't vote. I know.
Hey, one question, one, I'm sorry to interrupt again. How do I order from Amazon without tax, or I just pay the tax and it's okay? Right? I just pay there's no way.
Well, last year I ordered online from Home Depot and paid the
Okay.
tax because I'm like,
Makes
it's so
sense.
much more convenient for me to just
It's-
eat the
it's
tax
my
cost and order
contribution
online
to
than to
Little
go to the
Town
store.
If you don't want to, we can connect with Diana.
No,
and,
no. It's
find
fine.
out.
I'm just,
But I mean,
I was
if it's
just
a
thinking
huge
maybe there's a
amount-
way. Maybe there's a way, but if it's complicated, I'm happy to donate do my contribution.
I'm pretty sure.
I
Actually,
think
is
we would wrap that into the budget,
Yeah,
right?
I know Sarah's trying to say probably what I'm trying to say too. There is a way to do it. Yeah. Go ahead, Sarah.
I just don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm happy to like take a quick look tomorrow and see if I can figure it out for you. Because I don't believe it was very difficult.
Yeah, I believe you just have to put in the that number that's on the
Like-
certificate when you do it.
Okay.
I don't
Thank
think you had to like upload the document or anything. I think it was just the number. Let me take a look. I'll see if I can remember.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also think if we're ordering from Amazon, it's going to come a lot faster than the wooden figures. So if we've got a week where we're waiting for them to come, we've got a little more time to get those little details for the paint, in my opinion.
True. Okay, so we are proposing to spend $1,000 on wooden supplies and $100 on acrylic paint, and we're going to put that to a vote. All in
And
favor?
And $100 on the
and
post.
$100 on posts. Thank
I think
you.
we can just say we're making a motion for $1,200 for our public art project, just to keep it simple.
I second the motion. Everybody in favor? Aye. All right. Ayes have it. Approved. Officially. And then we'll just approve the receipts, Ray, when that all comes in. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. All right. The last thing on the agenda.
Sorry to say one more thing, but I just would love to say if you have notes to put them in this spreadsheet on the drive. That way we can all see them, and then we'll also see it all for next year too. Instead of sending an email back and forth, just drop it in there so that way we can all look at it.
Good idea. The last thing is just grant cycle updates. And any other business, and then drafting the agenda topic. So for next time, do we have any loose ends for the grant cycle? I think we're done, right? There wasn't any issue. Sarah, I think you finished up entering everything in, and everything was all
I didn't
copacetic.
check unless something went to the email, Kiki.
No, I said nothing came back, so unless we got anything kicking back. But it looks like, it seems like we're in process. We got that huge flood of them, and now they're just kind of trickling in. And I'll just keep watching it for these ones that are happening. We should be seeing the final reports soon, and so then we'll file those away. I think we're just kind of in motion, chugging along.
Love it. All right. And then, are there any other updates or any other business anybody wanted to bring up? No.
I'm just breaking it gently to the scrubs.
All right, speak now or forever hold your peace. No, we're good. Okay. So now just drafting the April 8th agenda topics. So it sounds like we'll have the treasurer update, membership updates. Maybe Judy, you'll be official by the next time potentially. Oh, we were going to ask, do you need help with the application, like printing it out or filling it out online or anything?
That's what I need to print it out and get it turned in because I used to keep a computer here hooked up to everything and did it all. And now that I'm retired, I just have a laptop. My son got me a printer, but they're in different places and I need to get them together and hook them up and make sure I can print.
I don't think you have to print anything. I think it's an electronic application on the town website.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, then that's nothing.
Yeah. So if you
that's
go,
simple then.
Yeah, if you go onto our town, the Littleton Cultural Council website, you look at where it just says open positions and you just choose it. And then it's just tappity tap.
Awesome. That's easy then.
Kind of an annoying form to fill out, but at least you don't have to print it. If you just let me know and I'll send you the link.
Okay. That's
Cool.
fine. If it's electronic, I can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's all. And then they'll give you the option to go before the select board when they swear you in, but you don't actually have to go. And then you once that happens, you'll have to go physically to the town clerk and just raise your hand. And then there's another electronic ethics thing you have to do.
Okay.
Afterwards. But it's all online from what I remember.
It is.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
That sounds simple enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say we can probably just keep the same topics we already have. We could maybe even drop grant cycle update because I don't really know.
Yeah.
I feel like any updates about paperwork would be in the treasurer update or the event update. So maybe we can just drop that grant cycle if everybody
Okay.
feels fine about that.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think we need any more updates. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're through it.
Our next meeting is on April 8th, right?
Yes. So, from our last minutes, we had said that we were going to do the install April 7th, which is the day before that meeting. I don't know if that's still what people feel, which is a Monday.
Wow.
I know.
And
That's-
Monday, at what time do you guys meet to
Yeah.
do that?
None of those decisions were made. So I do feel like, not to hold the meeting up more, but I feel like we need to somehow make a plan of the actual
I
who's
feel like
physically available.
Why,
I kind
why
of wish it
wouldn't we
was
do
after the next
weekend?
meeting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess what I'm kind of getting to is I was going to make a proposal that perhaps we move it till after the meeting
Yes.
and do it and aim to have it installing like that next week, the 14th, the week of the 14th. Doesn't have to be the 14th.
Why
And
don't
that
we
way
do it on so just a suggestion, because during the week, I guess it's complicated with work, right? Can we do it on a weekend, maybe? Or is that too
Like
crazy?
the 12th and
Last year
13th.
Last year we did it on a weekend. We did it, I think, mostly on a Sunday.
Yeah. I mean,
During the week, I can't participate.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Do
be
you want
honest.
to target like the Sunday the 13th of April? Was that in anybody's, or Saturday the 12th, either of those?
That's Palm
That's
Sunday.
Palm Sunday
those
for-
of us
Oh,
who-
right.
Let's
That's
do
why
it.
we didn't do it. You're right.
And what
But-
about the weekend before the 5th of
Well,
April?
that's the
Well,
only
then-
issue is that we don't
That's-
have our meeting. It's before our meeting. We could move the meeting, or we could.
Because why would we? That meeting wouldn't really change anything. Because before that meeting, like this week, we're ordering stuff, right? So we will be ready. We need to set who's gonna deliver things to all the organizations. That's something we do need to do.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, last year, whoever contacted them made a plan to do that.
To get
so-
them to actually get them the wood.
Yeah, get the
Parts, yeah.
flowers, yeah.
Do we want to just do that through email? Like, so once everything comes in, does everybody just want to, like, whoever's, Juliana, you just say, hey, it's all here. And then like through email, just distribute, like we can each say, oh, I'll take 20 and I'll deliver it here. Just so not one because like I didn't have any organizations that I reached
was
out to
gonna
except for the
say.
Cultural Council, so I can help somebody else.
Why don't we? I don't want to make this meeting more like longer, but can we go back to the spreadsheet, sorry, and add a column saying who will be in charge of delivering for which organization, and maybe we can and then I could say, hey guys, it's ready, and then each person can just go and deliver.
Yeah, so we kind of called
Because
it.
what I'm trying to get to is we don't need the meeting before getting together
Right.
to install.
Yes.
Sounds like
okay.
they're not going to have it very long before we install them. I mean, how much time do we give them to paint it?
When I spoke to the club, they said, basically once you give it to us, we'll paint it and we'll have it back to you in a couple days.
Oh,
That was their take on it.
Well, let's
Yeah.
say if I'm ordering tomorrow afternoon, because I have to work, so tomorrow afternoon, so tomorrow doesn't really count. Let's say Thursday would be the time it starts. I would get them back around the 20th, the 21st, let's say. And then we would have the week of the 24th of March to deliver them. Right? And so maybe the 5th is a little too short. I don't know, or maybe it's fine.
Yeah,
Them 2 weeks.
so most of the organizations I spoke to, because our original timeline up above said week of the 7th. So I had told, like, I know the COA is doing their painting event on the 7th. So
So then we cannot install on the 5th.
right.
And what if we install on that the other weekend is the break?
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
Easter.
Well, it's
yeah.
Easter.
When is
yeah.
school break, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the
I mean-
Saturday okay? The 12th?
I actually believe we did it on Saturday last year because I remember that I sent, this is weird, but I remember I sent my husband and my daughter because I was doing a funeral and I came right from the funeral and then did it. And I definitely would not have done a funeral on a Sunday. So I think we installed on a Saturday last
Can
year.
people do the 12th? Or you guys, like Ray, most importantly, probably because you have all the fun
I would
materials.
I can commit to the 12th. Yes.
Anyone else have a
do.
problem with
The
that?
12th.
I have a funeral that morning.
Okay.
I might have one, but I don't know yet. Ours don't get
It's
scheduled
so
that far in
sad.
advance.
Sorry, I'm so sad.
It's well, it's
You know,
part of
me
our
to laugh at
It's
that.
a laugh.
Part of our life.
That'd be funny.
Right. It's the circle of
Not
life.
sure yet.
Yes.
Oh God. All right. I mean, it would be like a morning into the afternoon, right? So like maybe we'd say like, oh, we'll show up at 10 and then whoever can come, right? Or does that seem right? And then Jen, like, is earlier? I mean, it sounds like you might not be able to come because of the funeral in general. Like, I don't know if you want to go install flowers right after you did a funeral. So,
What
Depends
time
on
would
how
we
long it
meet?
is.
right.
I would, I'd show up at a central location at 9. Be ready to receive folks from
At
staff.
9?
9.
What about the people that are installing their own? How many of those are there?
You mean at
Yeah.
the place of business, things like that?
Right,
There's
wasn't
really
there?
none yet because we have to assemble them before anybody's installing anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
they all have to come to a central location so we can attach
Oh,
them to the
okay.
posts. I know we had a conversation in the last meeting. I think we wrote it up here. Think about asking groups to bring the painted item to the installation location on that day, which would save us moving them. And we can also offer to those groups if they wanted to stay and help put them onto the stakes, like if it was, the scouts, which I guess we're not using anymore, but.
Yeah.
And I suppose that wouldn't really work for Tigers Den either. Yeah.
You
so
like
we
the
would have to
idea
have-
of the organization delivering them to you?
Yeah, I just think with Tigers Den that doesn't work because they are only a Monday through Friday. They're like an after school program.
Right.
Unless their contact person was willing to commit to driving them over on the Saturday, I guess. But
And especially when we're talking about that many.
yeah, exactly.
The other tricky part is that when they give us back the boxes, they get shoved into the back of a car. And
Right.
most of them aren't going to be labeled with who did what.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so if we-
That was another thing I was going to bring up. Last year, some of the organizations put their thing on the back, like
Right.
COA or whatever. So if you are a point person, you could encourage them to like incorporate Tigers Den on there somehow.
Oh,
That way it's also at least I had the groups that I reached out to, I said to them, at least have one that has your organization name. That way it was sort of represented out there. So some of them said COA on it or whatever. Doesn't have to be every one, but I agree, wouldn't necessarily, and that's why I think we can't really commit to like giving them back, because how could we keep track of it? I mean, if we felt like we didn't want to store them, we could also say to those organizations, hey, you can come to this location at this time and get them, and they would know which one was theirs, I guess. But
So 2 questions we're trying to answer right now are basically, one, are we going to suggest that some of the organizations deliver on site on the 12th? Not obviously the school-based organizations or the club or anybody that doesn't work the weekend. And then the second piece just completely flew out of my head. I was going to ask another question. But on that part of it, do we want to like reach out to the other organizations to see if they can, oh, so cute, Sarah, if they would be interested in delivering, or like, do you think that's too many moving pieces and we should just make one rule? Like we're gonna
I
take
think
care
it's just a
this year?
conversation when we call to say they're in. Hey,
Okay.
drop it off on this date.
Okay.
Or
Right, we
offer to pick
tell them
them
we're
up.
gonna
I'm
pick it up.
thinking I'll just pick them up. And if
Right.
I guess it's up to
Right. And then we'll just assign one of us for the club and the Tigers Den.
yeah, well, the club only has 15, so I don't think that's a massive. I almost
Right.
feel like this is kind of a Tigers Den sort of alone situation. So I don't know if we can get to a place where they can bring them somewhere. Is Tigers Den only at Shaker Lane?
Russell Street.
They have it at both. Okay.
No, I think
It
every
is
kid
Russell.
is at Russell Street, if I remember right. They bus them over to Russell Street,
Okay,
right?
so they're all at Russell Street.
Well, and frankly, at the club, right? Like we could get in there. Can't we break in there? I mean, like, because you can get in. It's like, it doesn't on the weekend. I feel like you can get in there because.
Yeah, the club is no big deal. That's 15 pieces.
Right.
Oh, the club is that. Oh, I thought they were the one, the big
No,
order.
it's
My
Tigers Den is the one.
bad. Okay.
I don't have a feel for what that looks like. So maybe once we,
I can tell you that 20 pieces in a box is heavy.
yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say you'd need a truck or something. It wouldn't be, A smaller car.
I mean,
So I would
cool.
suggest that maybe we could reach back out to Tiger's Den and see if they have, like, if they could volunteer to drop them off somewhere, or, you know, if we could figure out how they could get them to us, because I just don't know how we could do that unless there were 4 or 5 of us that went
Like a caravan.
on the Friday or something.
yeah, I mean, or my husband.
Probably a half a dozen boxes, right? So I can do that. My car is that it can do that.
Yeah, my husband has a truck. I mean, we can
Oh.
yeah, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. But
Oh, look at how cute.
Hi there.
Hello.
this is Locke. He just wants to be part of the meeting.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but you can't vote.
Remember, Sally, you don't know.
How many boxes of wooden cutouts can you carry?
100.
100. All right. Sign him up. Sign him up.
He's voted in.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can maybe that's micromanaging too much.
Well, and I did leave it kind of open with Tiger's Den too. I told her I'd reach back out and let her know what the conversation today looked like, what we were thinking, and what questions we had and everything, because again, the number was huge. So
Also, they have a facilities manager, and we could theoretically drop it at a place where that is meeting when it's convenient for one of us in the back of their truck. So there's some flexibility, I'm guessing. We can be clever.
Okay.
And one of the people on my team works in the school. If I have to drop it off somewhere, she's got a key. I think I can break in. So I can't promise that, which is why I've been quiet, but I'm pretty sure I can break in.
we have options then, and I'll broach the subject and see where it goes, and then if we need to, we can touch base again. I'm pretty flexible during the week, not as much on the week.
So then going back to what we were saying, then we don't need the meeting before, or I mean, we don't need to move the meeting, right? Our meeting can be on the 8th, and we'll sort that out, I guess, for the install on the 12th.
Correct.
Okay.
If anybody needs help with
The
phone
12th
calls.
in the morning work for most of us. Is that
What time?
the 12th in the morning work for most of us that would want to participate?
Yes, that works
Yes.
for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. And then where do we want it to be right on the common where we're meeting? And sorry, is there something we need to do like pre-install, Ray, like with those stakes, or can everything happen right there on the common?
I will have everything we need to attach the cutouts to the stakes on the first thing when we get started on the morning of the 12th at the town common or wherever we choose to meet. I will take care of that. From last year, I know exactly what we would need to make it smoother this year, so I'll take care of that.
Okay, cool.
If you need any like work tables or anything, I have access to a bunch of them we can use too.
Great.
You let me know.
I will.
So install date the 12th. Juliana, you're taking care of all the ordering. Everybody's reaching out to the people who didn't get their numbers in. Everybody's reaching out to the people about whether or not they need paint.
Yeah.
And we decided that we would figure out once everything's kind of in on delivery to the organizations and pickup, right? And that might probably need to be through email. Like obviously we have contacts that we each reached out to, but obviously for the bigger order, then we might need a few extra helping hands. So we can probably figure that out just through an email chain.
I am happy to volunteer.
What I will do is I'll email you guys when the things get home, which I am assuming will be around the 21st.
Yeah.
And then we can all decide how we're coming to my house and picking things up and taking them wherever they need. And that could happen that weekend. Or the following, like the Monday, I would say, the 24th at the latest, so that the organizations have enough time to do their thing.
Yeah, to paint them. Exactly. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with it tonight.
Yeah, it was a long one. All right. Any other questions, or everybody's raising really good organizational concerns, so that's appreciated. I feel like Julie was like on top of all that spearheading last year, but everybody's been really great stepping up. So
In that
thank you.
email that they were going to send out, will you let them know they're going to get it's, to get them to them the 24th so they can kind of make their plans as far as getting them.
Sarah, you're on mute if you were talking.
But,
It was Kathy.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I was just agreeing, like, yes, that's a good
Yeah.
point. To know when we expect to get it to them. I hadn't thought about that, frankly.
Yeah. So we're going to say we'll have it to you by the 24th, hoping to have it to you by the 24th.
I just had one more thing to say. Where I didn't take on any tasks because I was sick and not looking at emails. Please feel free to reach out if somebody feels overwhelmed by what they need to do and see if I can help out.
Thank you.
I love you,
Same
Kathy.
here.
And it was
Okay.
nice to meet you, Judy. I wasn't here last meeting.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, I'm going to wrap up.
Okay.
We are officially ending this meeting at 8:52 p.m. Thank you guys all, and I hope you have a great night.